Good afternoon, Chris Wilson here, and we're getting ready for worship this coming week. It'll be the second week of Advent. The theme of our worship service will be focused around peace, which is the candle of peace. Before I kind of dive into the scripture text and sermon focus for this week, I want to do a little story. When I was a kid, or actually teenager, would go to concerts. Music concerts, and would sign up to listen to some band. It could have been Journey or Van Halen or one of those groups you go listen to, and you get ready, you get to the concert and you're ready to hear that band, and the band that comes out is not the band you signed up to listen to. It seemed like every concert would have this warm-up band that would come out, and you're kind of a little disappointed that the band that came out is not the band you wanted to hear. But anyways, the theory was as these warm-up bands were kind of up-and-coming bands, it gave them a chance to be in front of large crowds so they could eventually maybe be a marquee band later on. But I will say that in the end, that warm-up band, it wasn't necessarily the music you intended to listen to. It kind of got you excited about the music that you would listen to when the main band came out. And I thought about that experience with the sermon focus for this week. The scripture is from the Gospel of Mark. It's in the first chapter. And Mark's Gospel really doesn't have a birth narrative in it at all. It just jumps right in and start with verse 2. We're on the River Jordan with John the Baptist and Jesus appearing on the scene. And that's how Mark's Gospel starts. And it starts with John preparing for the coming of Jesus in a different way than the birth narratives do. But John's message is a little bit harsh, but people came to hear him. People really wanted and were longing for a Messiah to come. They were wanting for the world to be different. And so the theme for this week, other than the theme of peace, which is our candle theme, the sermon focus will be on the theme of proclaiming, preparing the way for the coming of Christ. And so I hope as we get ready this week, as we prepare for the season of Advent, that we not only are remembering hope, but we're thinking of peace. And the season is one that's very different than most Advent seasons. Many of us are in our homes more than we ever imagined us being. But that doesn't mean we don't do any less preparing for the welcoming of the entrance of Jesus into the world. All of us are called to proclaim something significant, and we all have our own gifts to share. And John the Baptist helps us get there. Join us for worship on Sunday.